my Penn State. This is my Penn State Purdue post game recap. Um, I just have to say wow. I really have to say wow on this one because before the game I'm like this could be a trap game. A lot of things were working against Penn State. It's a road game. Um, to me it seemed like a perfect trap game. When it was 17-14 Purdue, I was very nervous actually because I was thinking this defense can't stop Purdue, and this offense looks pretty good. The offense looked good. They're 17-7 at halftime. I'm like, if this defense can make some plays, they're going to win. If the defense keeps playing like how they are, it's going to be to whoever has the ball last. And then, if the defense steps up and doesn't give them allow many more points, then they're going to win. Um, but I could tell that this game was over when they scored to make it 31-17. Penn State won this game 62-24. Wow. 48-7. They outscored them. They scored 45. Wait, I just have to do the math. That's how many points it was. 45 points in the second half. 45-7. Wow. In one half. Um, that's a lot. But now they did have a lot of help. The they got a touchdown off of an onside kick that Purdue basically kicked out of bounds and gave them that field position. Then they got a punt. They got a fumble. They got a fumble recovery off of a punt, and so there's 14 points that they got with really good field position. And then they got an interception at the end. So but still, that's still 41 points. Penn State was just too much for Purdue offensively. Barkley played really well. Barkley had 210 yards, and it just was a good game. And McSorley was decent. Didn't well, wasn't great, wasn't bad, but he did his job. He did enough to win this game, and at the end of the day, that's all he needed to do. We knew I knew Purdue was bad against the run, and it was all about Barkley breaking through and getting touchdowns. He was able to get out around the perimeter. I could tell from that first drive that we looked good, and I said I'd be surprised if we don't score 40 today. Just because then as it went along, I'm like, okay, maybe we won't, maybe we'll even lose, but we looked pretty good that first drive, and not always, but you can kind of tell how the team's gonna go before the game. We made good halftime adjustments. This team's a very good second half team so far this year. But they do start off kind of cold, so I do have to say that they struggled against Pitt, Minnesota, Purdue, even Ohio State. I guess I'll throw in because they were down 12-0, so they went on a 24-9 run to end the game. But this was a good win, and it gives Penn State 6 wins. 6-2. They're going bowling. And with the schedule that they have, I think that Penn State has a really good shot at getting to that 8-win mark, which is kind of big because it's big for Franklin. But this team, I think, might be able to get more. Um, Rutgers shouldn't be a real hard game to win. Rutgers doesn't seem very good. Rutgers should be a win for Penn State. And Michigan State played pretty tough against Michigan today, but then their intensity won't be like that against other teams that they play. The defense hung in there against Michigan. I mean, I'm talking about Michigan State, and but they just. I mean, this is a team that lost to Maryland by 11, and they lost to Northwestern by 14, who's shaping up to be pretty good, but they're just not playing well. They can't win a game for their life. Um, but that game still gives me a little bit of jitters because I think that Michigan State's an okay team. I think, but they lost to Indiana by 3. They got murdered by Wisconsin. They got murdered by um. They lost to Maryland by 11. They lost to Northwestern by 14. And who else did they lose to? They lost to Michigan today in a kind of close game. And whose turn was it the other week? Can't think of it, but they're just not playing well. So I think that Penn State should be able to come up with a win there, but it's still going to be close. And Indiana might be a challenging game. I mean, they beat Maryland by a little bit today. But Iowa's the game that I'm really thinking is going to be the tough one because Iowa's a team that doesn't put up a lot of points, and they don't. And I just think that Penn State struggles against Iowa, and Iowa could be a loss for Penn State. Overall, I'm still saying 8 to 9 wins. I think 10's a little high, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if this team gets 10 wins. Um, but and they're looking good because the schedule that they have, they don't really have anybody who's real good. Penn State, I think, might be able to crack into the top 20 after this win. I think they'll be around 2021 just because it was Purdue, and there's other teams that won big games like Oklahoma State. They'll probably jump Penn State, but Navy is out. Penn State will probably jump Colorado, and they're gonna jump Utah most likely. Um, so this team is probably going to be around 2021. And we'll see how it goes from there because um, this team still has a shot at the East, but they got to win out. So that's a wrap for this video. Penn State had a pretty good game. Barkley just ran past Purdue for the win today. And that's a wrap for this video. Peace out.